What, like, you're mad.
It's not about being mad, Ree.
How do you not care about your own child that's out there?
How do I not give a fuck about my biological mum or my dad? Like I said, the only reason I reached out was...
He's got a point, you know what I'm saying, mate? He's got a point, like, you don't care about your mum, you don't care about your dad, you might care about his daughter, mate. How can you be pregnant? Full disclosure, episode 1, part 2.
No, do you care about your child?
I need to get to that. I need to get to that because you don't understand it.
I just want to know where you found the time.
I never had nothing else to do. What? Because I don't feel sentimental feelings towards people. That's...
No, not towards people, for your own flesh and blood.
It's sounding deeper than part 1.
Like I said, there was you and all these other side bitches that I didn't give a fuck about. Many people could say, "Rah, like you met my mum, you met my family." I didn't give a fuck about their family. Like I said, I'd go to people's house, look at their mum right in the eye, and be like, yeah. And these times I don't give a fuck about their daughter or nothing else, and I still don't. Yeah.
Go on.
But during the second year we was together,
behavior.
like there was somebody that, like I said, sighting, not you up there, not the 2 below that I just kept there as a consistent link. Below that, I had a few other consistent links. Yeah? Mm-hmm. Now, when I say consistent links, I mean in the sense that I didn't even really like these fucking people. I might just have them around because one has a banging body, one might be a light-skinned thing with green eyes, another one might have a Jamaican accent and she's kind of thick. These people don't mean
disgusting.
But these people don't mean shit to me. They probably thought it was way more than it was because I would, like I said, I'd meet these people's parents. I was seeing someone that was like 40 years old and like I met her fucking daughter. Like I'd meet people's whole families and I didn't give a fuck about their family.
40 years old.
And I can say that confidently and I could look in the camera, I didn't give a fuck about them.
Her daughter?
I'd meet people's kids, I'd meet people's mums, their grandparents. I didn't give a fuck about these people. I
don't understand why you think that's okay to be going around seeing all these people. Like, you told me that it makes you feel, what would you say? I don't know, like it's your purpose or something like that.
When I'm not achieving anything else, the fact that I could get gal was the only thing that was an achievement to me.
Okay, but that still doesn't make sense.
Why is it that I could meet people's parents and not give a fuck about that?
All of it.
The reason I could, it's not hard.
Being able to meet so many people, for what reason? Don't you find it disgusting?
Looking back at it, yeah. But at the same time, the reason, if you're asking me why I didn't give a fuck about...
At the time, he probably thought he was the guy. He probably thought he was hard. You know why? Because I would as well. Back in the day, if I was doing what he was doing, I think I'm the GOAT. I think I'm an OG menace. But then I look back and be like, damn, why did I do that? That was so bad. You know what I mean? So I get what you're saying.
These people and their families and anything like that. You know me well enough to know that I don't give a fuck about my biological mum. I don't give a fuck about my dad. I don't care about these people. My brothers, I don't give a fuck about these people. The only reason I even gave Christine, who's my biological mum, a kiss on the cheek is because I saw you communicate with her and you made me see her like somewhat of a human being. Because I never saw her. No, but you know that. But you know that enough. It's not nothing new that you knew. You saw how I treated her.
Yeah, but no, I didn't know that. That's the reason why.
Nah, I never gave a fuck about her. When you say to me how I could do these, like, feel this way about these people, is because if I don't give a fuck about my biological parents, why would I give a fuck about other people's parents?
Do you care about your child?
I don't care about that. I'm gonna get to that.
Do you care about your child?
I need to get to that. I need to get to that because you don't understand it. So I need to explain it to you, otherwise you ain't gonna get it. So I'll get it.
Start now, explain it.
So
I've never heard it.
During the second year when we've seen each other, like I said, there was somebody I was seeing consistently that probably thought I was their man. I didn't give a fuck about them. Yeah?
She thought you was her man?
All these people thought I was their fucking boyfriends. Everybody did. Some of these people probably put pictures out of me and say that I was with them. I didn't give a fuck about them.
Bro, how much hassle is that? Like, what happens if you call Brenda Susan and you call Susan Carisha? Like, that is stress. And that's organizational skill. That's organizational planning right there. I muted it.
I was with them. I didn't give a fuck about them. They could think it was something special, but to me it wasn't shit. I would take a picture. I would take a picture of somebody's
How often
mum.
were you seeing these people for them to think that you're in a relationship with them?
It was consistent over
So when,
years.
when was this happening when I was staying at your house, when we were staying together? Is it the moment I left?
No.
When I will stay around 3 days a week and I'll go home.
Like
is
I
that
said,
when,
these people were consistent.
I just want to know where you found the time.
I never had nothing else to do.
So when you was working,
The nightclub thing was what, Thursday to Saturday.
okay,
The
but I'd meet you after sometimes.
no, but
so
you
I want to know when you had the time.
No, but you got to remember as well. These two jobs weren't even consistently at the same time, so I always had free time. Anytime you ever said I want to come and see you, I never said no, right? I always said yes.
No, but the times you were working, and I'll be at your house.
I had a lot of free time. Now, let me ask you something. Let me just say something
Wait,
to you.
was you seeing these people after work? Or
Not often. I had time. That's what I'm trying to say. I had time to see all these people.
I know, but where did you find the time when I was at your house, when I was staying with you, when we went to Birmingham and I was staying in Birmingham with you? When did you see these people? Have you lied about working?
Nah. Even in Birmingham, there was somebody that I used to see in Birmingham.
No, I know.
No, and it's not even the person that you thought it was.
It doesn't matter. I know you were seeing
But
people.
no, but the point I'm trying to make is I had
That's
time.
why I left you.
No, but the point is I had time. I had time to rotate 16 girl around and then have you as my main girlfriend. I had time.
Nah, I know it's bad. I've already said it's bad what he did, yeah? What he has done is bad. But you cannot, nobody can deny the organizational skills that this man has. Yeah? To have, even if it was 6, yeah, and barring her, so she'd be the 7th, even if it was 6 girls he had on rotation, the organizational planning that takes is crazy. The effort to reply to each of them consistently, to link this one. Okay, I haven't seen this one in 2 weeks, but I saw this one last week, so let me link this one this week and I'll link that one next. Like, I know it sounds mad, but I have to commend the organizational abilities. I have to.
But like I said, I never saw these people as anybody I gave a fuck about.
When I started working night shifts, and it's like all of a sudden, sometimes I'm calling his phone, he's not even answering his phone.
And that was all during the time. I had time. I had free time. I had loads of free time.
And I'll come see you on the weekend.
I had loads of free time.
You make me sick.
But
You're disgusting.
so during the second year that I was seeing you,
Damn.
there was something I was just linking. Like I said, they probably thought it was more deep than it was. Like the other fucking,
Shut up, Joe.
like the other
Carry
16
on.
fucking people that thought it was something.
Carry on.
There was this person I was linking, yeah? And when I got with this person, linking, one of the reasons I got on with them so well, yeah, and I actually met this person at the same event. When I first got with this person and linked them, they said they couldn't have kids. And I was like, that's fucking great because I don't want to have kids anyway, and definitely not with you because you're just the side chick to me. Like, this ain't gonna ever progress to be fuck all because I got my girlfriend, which is you, and I don't want nobody else like that, yeah? Now, we stopped seeing each other. We stopped doing the consistent linking thing.
Why?
Not consistent because
Why?
I didn't give a fuck about them. So
Okay.
and I just thought I'm bored of you. So you can.
Skedaddle.
Why would I want to see someone like that? I didn't see them for like 6 months, and then randomly out the blue they shouted me. I went to see them. We slept together. Now, you know me well enough to know that I can kind of I'm not going
to talk about that, but go on.
No, but you know, I
Yeah,
have to say it, otherwise it doesn't make sense. Like, you already know that I can control coming. Yeah? Really?
Carry on.
Yeah. You already know
was
that
gonna say she
like,
pregnant.
I'm not firing at nobody unless it's by choice. Yeah? But this one time, I did, not because I wasn't thinking, and I thought to myself, you can't even have youths anyway, so this don't even matter. Like, and plus, I ain't seen you
How
in
much
6
field
months and we ain't that,
experience
so
do you
fuck
need
yourself.
to
Like,
get that
let's gonna
ability?
do this, and then we ain't gonna see each other, whatever. It's just like a quick fling or whatever. Yeah? Now, a few months later, that person had sent me a message, and they said that they was pregnant. And the first thing I said to myself was, bruv, I don't know why you tell me that bullshit, bruv. You need to go to the thingy and just get an abortion real quick, because I don't want to have a fucking kid with you. I don't give a fuck about you. Yeah? And in that moment, I just felt like I had to be super honest. And I said, look, bruv, I'll be real for you, like, you're one of like 16 people. Yeah?
He's wearing a Versace necklace.
You ain't even someone I see as my girlfriend. I don't even really like you like that. So realistically, this can't be nothing like that. So it's best that you do that. They said that they were gonna go do it, and then I was meant to go with them on that day. And to be fair, I didn't really give a fuck, so I just went to link some next thing. I didn't go with them. And then I felt like such an idiot because when they even told me that they were pregnant, I said, how can you be pregnant when you told me the first time I met you, you can't have kids? How can you be pregnant? So already I'm thinking, bruv, I don't understand what the fuck is going on here. Like, and you know me, I've never been one of them guys to tell anybody I want to have
Oh, you
children.
got another girl pregnant. I can only imagine how she's feeling hearing this, man.
And you know me well enough to know that from someone that's been with me for 4 years. And
So
you're the
you
only
blocked
person.
her?
Nah, I told her.
No, you blocked her.
I told her.
You blocked her.
Listen, how can you know what's going to happen if I'm not telling you? Yeah? Like I said, the first thing I went through my mind was, you said you couldn't even have kids, so this shouldn't even be a conversation. You got to get the abortion real quick, so I don't want to hear this. Yeah? So they said they would go do it. Then the next day they come back and say they didn't do it. And I was like, bruv, are you dumb? Like, why would you
Do you know
not?
what? Do you know what? Do you know what? First of all, I don't see why you feel like you have the right to tell anybody to get an abortion they fall pregnant by you, because you're the one that's being like you're moving reckless.
No, listen.
You lay down with her.
No, listen.
You said you could control yourself, but you didn't control yourself. Yeah, because I thought. Okay, so now that's you now. That is
No,
all
because
you.
the person said they couldn't get
It
pregnant.
doesn't matter whether they said it or not.
What do you mean it doesn't matter if they said it or not?
So anyone can say that and it's all right. Just believe them.
No, you shouldn't just believe them.
So what? You just believe
I
that?
was seeing this person consistently for like 2 years, like on and off like a link. So why would they lie to me about that? If I was linking them for 2 years like this, fucking them every so often, why would I think they'd lie about not being able to get pregnant? That's dumb.
And she said this from the beginning.
I believe them. Yeah, they told me that they couldn't from the beginning, the first time I got with them. Then fast forward now, as soon as they told me that, I said, what are you even saying? Because you said you couldn't get pregnant. So what the fuck are you talking about?
Breezy in the chat. Breezy in the chat. What are you saying, Breezy?
Like, in that moment, I'll be real with you. Yeah? I told the person straight up, like, I don't know what kind of bullshit that you're trying to pull, but you're not going to get me with no sympathy thing trying to make me feel, like, you're not going to make me feel anything for this. Like, I'm not one of them people that sells people dreams like, I want to have...
Stop it. Stop it. No, I'm blessed though. What are you saying? Well, we're reacting to this full disclosure thing by Trend Central. Can't lie. This guy, can't even see where I'm pointing. This guy, hey, OG Menace.
have a family of people. I don't want to have no family of people. You're the only person I ever wanted to have a family of. So I'm not the type of guy to tell people and sell people dreams that I want to have a child with them. And you know that well enough. As much as I chat shit, you know that enough to know that I would never tell somebody I'd want kids with them because I never wanted kids. Going into that now, I aired this person for 4 years. I blocked them because I said, bruv, what the fuck are you trying to pull?
Yes. I'm good, and I've seen some clips for the past 2 weeks. It's looking good. Yeah, you know, it's peak still.
Yeah?
Peak. No, it's good. You're good,
and
though.
I never spoke to them for 4 years. But then, by that,
And you don't even regret that?
No.
Not one bit?
No.
That your child is out there?
Listen, the reason I'm going to
You
get
don't
to
regret
that.
it?
So she's not the baby mama.
I don't regret nothing. Just like when I met Christine at 9 years old and I looked her in the face and I never felt nothing for her.
No, but that's this.
Just
I'm
like when I
talking
met my
about
dad at 23,
your
I don't
flesh
feel
and
nothing
blood.
for
You
him.
don't regret abandoning your child?
Ree, how can I feel, if I'm telling you right now, and you know me well enough to know that I met Christine, my biological mum, and for how...
He's too honest for his own good. Jeez, the truth needs to come out. You get what I'm saying? Can he really be too honest? It needs to come out, man. You're just in disbelief because of this. The thing is, he was a menace. I believe he's changed, you know? At least I'm hoping that he's changed. He's not like that anymore.
How many years
Hierarchy of sneaky links is still crazy, though.
of my life, I never even looked at this woman as someone that I'd even want to be associated with me. I hated looking at her, and she didn't even do anything to me. I just didn't like anything about her. Just like when I met my dad at 23, and then I met him and I found out...
The way he says it is too tough.
Even though he was schizophrenic,
Yes.
even though Christine was schizophrenic, and understanding their situations, and understanding that they were both on
What
drugs,
has
I
that
still
got
didn't...
to-
No,
what has that
just
got to
listen
do-
to what I'm trying to say to you. Just because...
You're just waffling because you're not making no sense.
Let
No,
him
listen, you're not getting
finish.
it. Just like I didn't give a fuck about them and what they went through, I didn't give a fuck about this.
Wow,
Same way.
16 is
Just
crazy.
like when I met my dad, like I said, I didn't feel nothing. Just like when I met Christine, I don't feel nothing. I don't feel nothing for these people. I don't feel fuck all for these people. But after 4 years of airing this person, the only thing that made me even think to reach out, which is what I did, was not because of any emotional, sentimental thing, because I don't feel that. I just looked at it like, if it wasn't for my grandmother adopted me and helping me and saving my life and doing it, I'd probably be a crackhead just like my dad would be a crackhead. I might be schizophrenic like both of them too. So the only thing that made me say, I said to myself, let me reach out and make a communication and try and build something, even though I don't like the person, what they've done. And let me build a communication. But it's nothing out of love or sentimental reasons. It's because I just thought to myself, I don't want this person to grow up and end up being a fucking crackhead and shotting up pussy for £20, bruv. Like, that's all it is. It don't mean that I give a fuck about it or anything like that. Just like I said, I didn't give a fuck about Christine or my dad. I don't give a fuck about none of these people.
So back to your child.
So back to that, I then found out from this person.
That was salty. So back to your child.
Even when I went to meet this person to do this paternity test, because I thought it's still bullshit, because how can you say you can have kids and then all of a sudden, I just didn't believe it. So I took a paternity test thing, and in that moment, that person basically slipped up and they basically admit they lied again. So by the time they even told me about, they found out they're pregnant, they had known already. So by the time they even said to me, et cetera, it would have been too late for them to do it. So in essence, it was never any kind of, I never really had any say in it, regardless.
Okay, so...
Oh, I thought you said they lied. He's still gonna get girls. Facts.
The situation now, how do you feel about your child who's out there?
What do I feel? Like
how do you feel about the child that's out there, your child?
I don't feel...
You never think about your child?
I don't feel no sentimental, nothing. No love, nothing.
No love
within the
towards your child?
Within the first year, Do
you know how you look?
It's not about how I look, because I don't care about how I look to people.
No,
I'm being honest.
You're mad.
It's not about being mad, Ree.
How do you not care about your own child that's out there?
How do I not give a fuck about my biological mum or my dad? Like I said, the only reason I reached out was...
He's got a point, you know what I'm saying, mate? He's got a point, like... You don't care about your mum, you don't care about your dad. Why care about his daughter, mate? You know what I'm saying? Nah, I get what you're saying. If you had the chest to air the mum for 4 years, and then... No, that's it. If you had the chest to air the mum for 4 years, knowing very well that she's raising your kid, and you do not care about it, do not care about it at all, why would he care about the kid? I get what you're saying.
Was because
so your child is a situation that you're never going to go back to. That's it. You'll never reach out.
I have reached out, and that's the point I'm trying to make. After 4 years, I have.
And then what happened after that?
I've been trying to build a relationship from that.
You've been trying to build.
But it's not out of no sentimental reasons or out of love. I don't feel that. It's out of obligation, because I know it's something that you have to do, not because I feel nothing. Just like it's obligation for me to show respect and show whatever to Christine. Even though I may not have any sentimental or love for her, it's just the fact that I should give that to her because she's my biological...
See, it's crazy that he's calling his mom Christine, you know that's crazy. He has a point, because it's him, I believe him, Faz, yeah.
Mum, just like I should have some sort of respect for my dad because he is my biological dad. I'm not trying to sound like a dickhead, I'm just being honest. When you ask me stuff about how can you not care, how can you not have any sentimental feelings, it's because I can't tell you why I don't care for Christine. I can't tell you why I don't care for my dad just because they're family. The only people I give a fuck about is my grandma, that's my mum. That's the only person I give a fuck about. Anybody else, I don't feel it. Within the first year, when the person sent me a picture of their kid, I took the picture and I threw it in the bin because I didn't give a fuck about that. I just thought to myself, this person is...
The kid growing up to see this, yeah. I mean, unless, of course, he, gets involved in the kid's life and actually ends up, loving and caring for the kid. The kid growing up and seeing this could wreck their life. I'm not even exaggerating. I'm not even being funny. Like, facts, it can wreck their life.
This person basically lied to me about some shit, and now I'm here, and now basically I've just created another situation where I've created another statistic. That's why I never wanted to have kids. I never wanted to have children. I never wanted to repeat what my grandmother had to go through. My grandmother had to restart her whole life at 50 years old just to raise me.
Well, you should have been more responsible then.
No,
and the fact that you had
and you're right.
You should be more responsible, and the fact that you do have a child, that is your right to look after your child.
Exactly.
And it's not about throwing it in the bin because this is not what you wanted, or because you feel I don't know.
I feel like I was lied to.
It doesn't
not about
matter
that
whether
because
you
I
feel
was
like it's
lied
like, it doesn't matter what situation you're in. The fact, like, why, it's like,
It's like what?
You've decided not screwed up in
What?
there,
Because
Joe.
I don't feel sentimental feelings towards people. That's
No, not towards people, for your own flesh and blood.
what's flesh and blood
The
got to
thing
do
that
with
the thing that
anything? I
you're
don't
saying,
understand
yeah,
what
you're
flesh and
basically
blood-
saying, no,
what's flesh
because
and blood? Let me ask you something.
in our relationship, yeah, as far as I'm concerned, yeah, you've made it out to me. You've painted this picture as the reason why you don't care about your biological mom, your biological dad, is because of how they were. For example, you just said now she got her kids taken away from her.
The thing is, the woman lied to him. It ain't his fault. Word, like he didn't volunteer to be a dad. It's one of them ones there where it's like, you know, let me not get into the politics. You know what I mean? Let me not get into the politics. Let me keep it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
No, it's not about how they were. It's that I don't feel that. I don't
Okay,
feel
but
it for them.
you've mentioned how she got her kids taken away from her, so she accepted someone else to have you. I'd understand why you'd be upset about that,
It's
or
not
why,
about,
or why
Rhea,
you feel
Rhea,
a certain type of way.
It's not about being upset. I only found this out 2 weeks ago. I'm not upset about that. I'm not upset. I don't give a fuck about it. I met Christine at 9 and I looked at her dead in the face and I looked at my grandma and said, I don't like this woman.
It's because you didn't know her. She hasn't been in your life.
I've known Christine for my whole life. I've known Christine for my whole life.
Your nan looked after you.
Yeah.
Your nan also took you away and raised you.
Yeah.
So when you came back to Christine's, you didn't care about her.
Yeah.
Because she has nothing to do with you.
Yeah. So when you
Okay,
keep
so
on,
now
when
this
you, no,
child
so
that
when
you
you keep on
created,
when you keep on
that
talking
you
about,
created.
No, but when you keep on talking about flesh and blood, you keep on making it seem like.
Okay, but this is your problem.
I'm not saying it's not my problem.
See, she's saying flesh and blood, like he intended for that flesh and blood to be a thing. It's sad to say, and sorry for his daughter, but you were not intentional. That's a kind way of saying it was a mistake. Now, with that being said, why would he care? Like, she's saying flesh and blood, and which I get, like my flesh and blood, if I had a kid intentionally, like I wanted to have this kid, of course I'm going to care for the kid. But if I didn't want to have this kid, and I said I didn't want to have this kid, and I was told that this would never happen, why would I, you know, why would you, you know,
That's the thing. You keep on trying to make it seem like I'm trying to take I'm trying to tell you this is 4 years ago or whatever, and I'm telling you this is on from what's happened now. I'm trying to tell you that it took me all these times to actually understand myself and understand my thought process.
So right now you've been trying to have communication.
I have been having communication.
You have been having communication.
And that's, like I said, it's not about love or anything like that. Just like when my grandmother took me, it wasn't about love.
Your grandmother took you out of love.
Yeah, but it was about obligation also.
No, she wasn't obliged to. She
was
took you
obliged.
out of love.
It's obliged. She did it because she feels.
Because your parents were not well.
Listen to what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, so it was you know, it was a bit of an obligation thing. Still, it was love and obligation.
Being obliged to, and I know this because she's told me this herself, which is why
She's trying to apply proper logic to a guy who don't get it. That is it. Honestly, truthfully, he was deceived. Yeah, he was still. He was. It's a sticky one, you know what I mean? It's a bit of a sticky one still. But I get what he's saying though. I get it. Like it's easier for guys to get what he's saying, you know what I mean?
we said before you ever have kids or something, understand that it's not an easy job, which is why I never wanted to have kids. I've been through the worst poverty with my mum. I've lived in flooded houses with my mum. I'd slept, and when I say my mum, I mean my grandmother. I've slept in bed and breakfast with my mum. Slept in houses made out of galvanized in the Caribbean because of my mum. I used to walk through cane fields in Dominica for my mum walking because we couldn't have transport. Even when my mum took me to Dominica and I was there, I was living in a room with 8 kids. I had my first sexual experience at 5 with someone that was older than me. So like, when you're telling me that it's love, yeah, it is love, but it's also obligation, which is why I've never sold anybody a dream of telling them, I want to have a child with you and we're gonna make it work, which is why, as much as I loved you and as much as I wanted to get married to you and as much as I wanted all these things with you, I would never ever do that to you because I would never put you in a position where I know myself and I know I'm not ready, and I'm gassing you up saying I want to keep it.
So
would
had I
never
got
ever tell you
pregnant,
that.
then what would you have done?
Hmm?
If I fell pregnant, what would you have done?
For you, you're the only person I would want to have kids with. So it would have been a different thing. But I was never going to let that happen. I was never going to let that happen because I knew how I was moving and I never wanted that to be for you. I know how hard it is for a single mum to raise a child because that's been my whole life. And like I said, I'm not knocking the person that's the kid's mum, whatever. I'm not knocking it because she's done a great job. But at the same time, of course I'm gonna feel away because I felt I
You
know
know
I
how
was
hard it
lied
was
to.
for you. You know how hard it was for your nan to raise you.
But then at the same time, I was still lied to. So I'm gonna feel away about that too.
I
Facts.
just said, you know how hard it was for your nan to raise you
Yeah,
by herself,
of course.
and that's what you just wanted
But
for
I was
somebody
lied
else.
to. There's a difference. It's not like I lied and gassed somebody up and said I want to have kids
But
with
she
you.
never lied about like.
Yes, she did.
But
How
do
can
you
you?
See, what he did is not right. It's not. It's not right. But it's understandable. That's what it is. It's not right, but it's understandable. You know? Someone bought me a dog. Okay, you know what? Let me not come up with a. Let me not come up with a. Let me not come up with a similar thing where I put myself in a trap.
What did she not lie about? What? Not being able to have kids and all of a sudden you can. Telling me I'm going to go do this.
Miracles happen, man.
Huh?
That's all I say. Miracles do happen, Joe.
Well, I'm a miracle. But I don't know about nothing else. This is the thing. I know what it's like to be resented and be disliked. When my grandma brought me to Dominica, she left me with the guy that she was with. He would bring me to all his side chicks' houses. Some of them would kill dead animals, hold it in front of me, cut their hands, do all that bullshit, leave me with weird people. Like, so it's not a thing about,
This guy's probably
I know how hard
not
things
had a
are.
nice life, you know.
I'm not a person that would
I
ever
say
put somebody
probably.
in that position.
I don't think he has.
So it's not
That's exactly why I stopped. That's exactly why I stopped the analogy. No, I'm not saying a dog is equal to a child.
love thing for me. It's obligation because it's the right thing to do. And it took me 4 years to get to that point because I don't want to resent anybody. I don't want to resent a kid because of how I feel towards their mother. Which is why it took me. So when you say to me abandon, it's not abandon, it's about if I get around somebody and I feel how I feel and I am how I am, it's not going to benefit anybody else. You'll get the worst of me, and I don't want to ever do that to somebody else's child. I never want to do that to somebody's kid. I don't want to do that to anybody because it's been done to me.
Is there anything else you need to tell me? Like why you did it today?
The reason I've done it today is because it's taken me a
Like
long
what are you trying to gain from it now?
He's the definition of you are the products of your environment. Facts. Facts. No, facts.
Like what did you expect me to do from
To be
from this
fair,
point onwards?
I never felt like I owed anybody anything because I don't. But I always felt like I owed you. I could say that you're my first love, and I could say that you're the only person, like I said, I ever wanted to marry or have a family with. I'm not saying that's not happening now, obviously. But the point I'm trying to make is I just felt like you deserved the explanation for everything. And like I said, I never wanted to come off like, obviously you've seen me throughout the beginning and you've seen me before social media, now you see me after social media. And then I never wanted you to leave with like the taste in your mouth that I was a shitty person.
Who you was?
Yeah, I was then.
The taste will always be there.
Yeah, of course. But the point I'm trying to make is that just like everything in my life, I'm learning to understand it a bit more and come to grips with it more. So it's not Christine's fault. It's not my biological dad's fault. That's just what happened. Yeah? It's my fault for believing someone and just listening to someone instead of strapping up. It was my fault. So even though the person...
He must have touched his soul. Dude, this girl? Yeah, he was whipped. No, he wasn't whipped. He was in Louvre, you know? He was in Louvre.
lied to me and they lied twice, it's still my fault because I shouldn't have even done that situation. And now I'm left in a situation where if I ever did want to have a child, like I said, I only ever wanted to have a child with you, and I know it would have been organic because you're the only person I felt that for. So I have to deal with this in the sense that I've come from...
Yeah, man. Bro, he was literally saying that she kept him alive. Like, he probably would have killed himself if not for her. Like, if he's being serious about that, which I have no reason to doubt, then the love was there. You get what I'm saying?
I'm a broken kind of family kind of thing, and I've continued that. And although they may not be like love there in that sense, it's obligation and it's the right thing to do. So all I'm saying is like, just like then, even with the youth situation, like I've had to realize that I can't, although the person lied to me, I have to be real with myself and say I shouldn't have got myself in that situation and I have to deal with the responsibility. But I'm still not gonna lie to myself and say that it's love, because it still ain't love for my biological parents, even though it ain't their fault. It's not love for nobody, because it's hard for me to feel that. I only love my mum, which is Elizabeth. That's the only person I have real feelings for, and I know that sounds like I'm being a dick, but I just can't help it. It's just how I am. Like when I did the ZZ Mill show that everybody probably knows me from, like, I guess the Next Everything, that's one of the things that a lot of people know me from. She asked me if I had kids, and then them times I knew, yeah? Them times I knew.
I know, you lied.
Yeah, of course.
You said no, you
yeah.
didn't have kids.
Because
you stopped owning it.
No, I didn't own it because of the disdain and anger I felt, and which is why I talk about it's taken me years to get past that feeling of anger and bitterness towards the whole situation. Because at the end of the day, it wasn't my fault my parents had a one-night stand, just like it ain't this youth's fault that I was fucking bad things and this thing thought it was something deeper, and then it is what it is, and I don't give a fuck about that person. It's not the youth's fault. When I look back at me and you, I have all these great thoughts and I have all these great feelings and all these amazing times of you in my head. But then when I really put down to the reality, I did a lot of wrong to you. I did so much wrong to you. And as much as I loved you and as strong as my feelings was towards you, I was doing a lot of wrong, which is why I wanted to talk to you in person and say it, because do you know what the problem was? The reason I loved you so much is because I've never seen my mum in someone. And that's what I saw in you. Everything about you, it just gave me a reflection of her, which is why I felt so strongly towards you. And which is why when I talk about family and kids and all these different things, that's why it comes back to you.
I mean, you know I broke up with you, right? Because I just kept having, not only was I having gut feelings about our relationship or someone messaging me saying they swear they've seen you somewhere. It was just all too much. And towards the end of our relationship, I would say around 3 months towards the end, I really fell out of love.
Yeah.
I just felt like me being there is wasting my time, because I know what you're doing. Like, I feel like I know what you're doing, but you would never change.
Yeah.
Remember the last time I broke up with you? Like, my friend saw you on a dating site.
No, that wasn't the last time you broke.
No,
You
not
mean
the
before
last
the
time, the
final
one
time?
before that.
Yeah, I thought
Multiple breakups is crazy. You mentioned the last. Wait, no, you mean the final? Nah, that's like multiple breakups is crazy. No way.
Before that,
last
yeah,
time,
you was
yeah.
on a dating site and it was you, it was all your details there, and I
Yeah.
showed it to you. That was
Yeah.
the first time I broke up with you, and so it's just like, you know, from that moment, and we've already 2.5 years in our relationship, so it's like the last time I just felt there's no point, it's not going to work out, you're not going to change, so what am I here for? If I was to ask you, if you feel like we should, remember we normally have our talks
Yeah.
about being in a relationship, like how we feel. If I was to ask you the same question, you'll say everything's perfectly fine. So I didn't give you the opportunity to have that talk with us, like that certain conversation. So.
And you're right, because at the time, I wouldn't have been honest, because I had so much on my mind, even that situation, life and everything.
And
I
even
wouldn't
after
have-
everything you said, it's just that I just find it hard to believe that you saw your mum, like the way you portrayed me, like you've seen your mum and me and all that stuff. I just find that hard to believe while she was out doing what you was doing. You wouldn't be doing all that stuff if that's what you thought.
I know it's hard for you to get it, but that's how it is for me. Like I said, where we go from here, obviously, we're never going to get back together like that. But at the same time, I just never wanted you to leave with that feeling.
You know, I'll be so real. I feel like Castillo could get with her again. I'll be so real. I genuinely think he can. But I'm fairly confident in that statement as well. Fairly confident. It'll take a bit of work. I think he can though. But yeah, is there much benefit to it? Not really.
About me to feel like I was a bad person, even with what I've told you about myself, everything else. I have changed from how I was before, and it's
Read how he says the youth and not my youth. Think about it.
taken me a long time to get to that point. So with you, like I said, it's not about even being a friendship. It's just down to just you, like closing up the chapter. That was me and you.
Chapter's closed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Done.
He has luxurious hair though.
Next week on Full Disclosure, Evelyn calls out Lerone as she hopes for him to acknowledge his shortcomings in caring for their disabled daughter and make changes to improve as a father.
Our daughter's deaf. She doesn't have hearing, and I had to deal with that by myself.
No, you didn't.
You put the roads above.
Why does he look so hostile, bro? That guy looks violent. Psychologist Blue J, come on. Do Sly feel bad for him? Yeah, it's like, it's. I can't hate him basically, although he did some menace things. Yeah, I am fully against cheating. I'm fully against cheating, and he did some menace things. You know, things that I cannot rate. But there's something about him that I can't hate him. And it's probably, maybe it's because I do slightly feel bad for him. Taking into account his past and rare tear. But yeah. Yeah, this guy looks dangerous, bro.
Above your daughter.
Do you think I'm a bad guy?
Yeah.
I think you are
I
genuinely
do. I do.
the most evil human being I've ever met, and I'm not even lying when I say that.
chat.
There were times I used to find you in my house, broken into my house. You wouldn't let me live. So then I had to live a life where I had to lie to you about anyone that I was dating.
This ain't fucking Narnia, bro. Like, there's real life shit that
He did some menace things, but he owned it. Yeah. No, Castillo did still.
goes on in this, like that, like.
Lerone, the problem is you've had too many children.
No, I haven't had enough, my guy.
5 baby mums, 9 children.
I don't use that derogatory term.
I went to college when Kaya was 9 months. I've been in.
Who the hell told you to do that shit then?
The
You just had a youth, fam. Chill out.
This guy is worse than Castillo. But at the very least, he's Castillo before Castillo changed. That is crazy. That's out today at 8 p.m. Might have to get that thing you watch now. If you have any disputes and would like us to facilitate it on the show, do email us at We'll do best to make it happen. Castillo should be sitting down with us therapists instead. Anyways, ladies learn from men like this, no matter how good they look. Dealing with these level of demons is not worth it. Castillo, I pray the Lord heals you. Amen. Huh? This Darren guy is quoting Tyler the Creator. Crazy. Welcome to the chat though. Welcome to the stream. Now, word, Castillo's quality content, I'll be real. They must be getting bread for this though. They must be getting bread for this because that lady seems like a self-respecting woman. And I don't know what self-respecting woman would want your business aired out like that. Castillo operates from all his traumas, and honestly, this is what it looks like when you don't open up your heart to forgive people who have hurt you. You've literally become the hurtful person. I really do pray he heals for real, because it'll all just be a cycle. I love how she carries herself with a lot of decorum. Yeah. Yeah, accent. What the heck? Bro, what is this guy, bro? What is this guy? What? I'm no Aiden Russ, man. I ain't. I'm not. You chill with that, bro. Props to her for standing up for the innocent child and not excusing his behavior. He brings everything back to his parents. Childhood trauma is real. He must have gone through some. He probably has, bro. He's probably gone through the craziest of things. When he said he's not acting out of love or sentiment with his child, his conscience caught up with him. The thing about suppressed trauma is your words can say a million different things, but your behavior will always tell the truth. He's actually terrifying. This is antisocial behavior he's confessing to so casually. She looks like he's making her physically ill. Damn. Yeah, I feel sorry for the child if there's to see this in the future too. Yeah, no, this one a bit crazy still. Yeah, no, I'd say the Castillo guy needs some therapy. Fair play to him for being honest. Yeah, yeah, he's honest still. I pray Castillo's child doesn't see this. No, I'll be real. I'd say the Castillo guy, he needs some therapy. But not in like, I'm not saying that in a way like how some other people are saying it, like, oh, this guy's sick, he needs therapy. I mean, like, I think he just needs someone who's really gonna listen to what he has to say and then help him through it, you know? Like, I want to see him get better. Castillo's honesty was fair. Yeah, it was.